Okay, it's saying that I'm live this time. Hopefully it's right. Infamous Joel here. Give me the hashtag live or the hashtag replay, depending on when you're watching this, as I've tried this a few times now, and it hasn't been great. All right, just making sure the audio here works. Made sure everything is connected right. You see me, I see you. Everybody sees each other, and we're all getting ready to rock and roll here. All right. Just give me 1 minute. Again, guys, give me a hashtag live, hashtag replay. Let me know when you're here, when you're seeing this, so that I know when these comments are coming in. I respond to all comments. Even if you're on the replay, that's fine. I will get back to you. Hey, I see Teresa. I see Emily Rose. How you guys doing? I see a few people filing in here. We're not going to waste a lot of time. We're not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into it because this is a big one. As you can see, let's get excited. As you can see, this is the only way to become a 7-figure coach or consultant. And it's by doing much less work than you think. That's what people think. They think more work. That's how you get to 7 figures, 8 figures, beyond. No. It's an entirely different type of business that we're talking about here. All right. So people will file in, and if they miss the beginning, they will watch it on the replay. So that's fine. We're going to go right in. We're going to go right ahead and keep going. So we're going to talk about first and foremost what you're going to learn here. Yeah, I started stuttering there a little bit. It happens. What are you going to learn here? You're going to learn, number one, how to charge premium prices and feel good about it. That happens a lot in the coaching and consulting community, right? A lot of people doing coaching, consulting, they feel guilty. They feel guilty about charging more. They say, oh my God, I can't legit charge more. It just doesn't feel right. It's oh my God, it's just like, will people really pay me more for what I'm doing? And trust me, you're going to learn how to charge more and feel good about it. You should be charging more. Charging more is a good thing. Okay. Next thing, you're going to learn how to deliver your services from a beach in Mexico. That's right. We're going to relax. We're going to kick back. We're going to put our feet up. We're going to be in a hammock. We're going to watch the sunset. We're going to drink a nice little drink. That's how you're going to deliver your services from now on. That may be a little bit shocking to you if you've been doing one-on-one coaching or one-on-one consulting and you're thinking, what? Right? But we're going to get into that. Okay. We're going to talk about how to make people beg to work with you on autopilot. On autopilot. You see, I have the bald, shocked face guy there. On autopilot. I should have made that like bold and capital and extremely just stand out, because that's the big thing. People may beg to work with you now. You may be a premier coach or one of the top consultants in your industry right now, and they may beg to work with you now. But we want to do that on autopilot. We don't want you to be around and chasing clients and leads all day long, constantly logging in and out of all your social media accounts, constantly answering questions. No. We're going to talk about how to adopt. I don't know if it was adapt or adopt, but adopt the billionaire mindset. Billionaires think differently. I spent a long time studying the billionaire mindset, studying how super successful people think. Okay, there's successful people and then there's ridiculously successful people, and there is a difference. They do think differently. They look at things differently. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about why being lazy is the key to success. Not working hard, being lazy. We want, the ultimate goal is to be lazy and again, be on that beach in Mexico, drinking that fruity little umbrella drink. We want that. How to create the business of the next 100 years and be ahead of the curve, because this is the new one. This is the new business. It's been the new business since the millennium, but I see too many people not really jumping in, not really taking advantage of this opportunity that we have now in this day and age. Okay, so we're going to talk about that business model, and that's the business model you need to be running to get to 7 and 8 figures. Okay, how to do all this without being a tech wizard, ad expert, or even know anything about your niche. Anything. You can jump into any niche with this same business model and repeat it. Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste over and over and over again. And scale all those businesses to 7 figures. I am not lying. I'm serious. But here's where I need you to get out. Here's what we're not going to learn. And you need to get out if you want to send traffic to a webinar and spend tons on ads. One thing I can't stand, I can't stand the whole webinar, webinar Facebook ad funnel stuff. I think most people in here can agree that we're pretty tired of webinars, right? Like if you spend enough time on Facebook and you've been targeted by ads and you've clicked through and it sends you to a webinar, most people, just like you and me, have become numb to it. They've fallen asleep to it. They're tired of it. It's dead. Give me a yes in the comment section if you agree with that. Are you tired of webinars? 2-hour-long webinars explaining all this stuff. I see a yes already. I know me. I know a lot of people I speak to. They're tired of webinars. I'm tired of webinars. This isn't a webinar model with ads and stuff like that. No. And plus, those webinar ad models, every single year or so, the conversion on those things are getting lower and lower and lower and lower. I see Park saying time waster. When they first came out, when you were ahead of the curve, when you jumped on the whole webinar funnel thing early, yeah, they were converting like gangbusters, right? People were selling like hotcakes on these webinars. It was like 12% conversion rate. Wow, it was amazing. Now you're lucky if you get 1 or 2%. People are so tired of these webinars. They're so tired. They're bored. They're jumping right off as soon as they see a webinar. They don't have time for that. People's attention spans on social media are like a goldfish, right? They're like 6 seconds max. I don't have time for a webinar. As soon as I see it, I'm out of there. Next thing, if you want no initial work at all, remember I said we're going to be on a beach in Mexico, relaxing. It's going to be no work at some point. I don't want this to get in your head that you're going to do no work. Initially, yes, you're going to do work. But the goal is to be lazy. The goal is to do no work eventually. That's how you scale a business. Next, if you expect a quick, easy fix for your business, that's another get out moment. If that's what you expect, you need to get out. It's not quick. It's not easy. It is a little complicated. It is simple. Easy and simple are two different things. It just take a little time, a little bit of elbow grease. And once we restructure the business, the way we run our coaching, our consulting, it looks much nicer from a 2,000-foot view and much easier afterwards. But we have to change it. We have to turn it around. Park says, mine is like a cricket. Nice. If you enjoy doing one-on-one coaching to the extreme, I know I don't. I hate it. I'm sorry. I love some of my clients. I really do. We become like family. Not so much for some other ones. And, you know, at one point I was handling 35 clients at the same time. We're going to get more into that, but I wanted to jump off a bridge. I don't love one-on-one coaching. So if you love it, then please be my guest and continue doing it, because this is not for you. This is not a good training for you. This is for people who want to get out of the one-on-one coaching stuff and start to scale to 7 and 8 figures. Okay. If you are convinced this won't work for your business or niche, I'm not going to argue with you. You can just leave. That's okay. We're not going to argue. If you're going to sit there and have all these false beliefs and say like, oh, well, this won't work for me. My niche is different. I need to be one-on-one. I need to work hard and like late hours and never sleep. Okay, then, I mean, there's nothing I can do for you. We're not going to argue. And if you would rather pay $35,000 for this same information, this is what's crazy about this information that I'm going to give you. Okay, I've paid a lot of money to learn this information, and I mean a lot. Okay, 35,000 easily. But if you would rather pay that much instead of stick around for an hour max, maybe 2 max, but hopefully not. Hopefully we get through this. Right? If you would rather go ahead and pay the 35,000 yourself to find out the exact same information I'm about to tell you, be my guest. But I'm about to tell you $35,000 worth of information in one presentation. So if that sounds good to you, give me a yes in the comment section. Because I think most people will say yes. Most people don't really respect free stuff that they get, but respect this free stuff you're about to get. And by the way, that's a picture of the door. So if you don't like any of this, that the door is readily available for anybody. All right. First of all, who is the infamous Joel and why am I qualified to teach you this? This may be a little bit shocking if you don't really know me personally, but a lot of people already know me. They know my story. Back in 2012, I got convicted of 2 felonies, violent crimes, and I ended up spending time in prison. I went to prison. I hide nothing when it comes to that. There's a lot of gurus, a lot of people out there who make up fake stories and tell you they did this and they did that. They try to make their stories sound worse than they really are. They try to make their stories sound better than they really are. I'm very, very transparent. I tell you exactly who I am, what I've been through. And I think it's cute and it's adorable when gurus are like, I hated my job. Yeah, well, I work for 19 cents an hour. So, you know, you got to look at your past and say, this is where I came from and it made me who I am and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I may not be proud of what I did, but I'm proud of who I am and how far I've come. Okay, so there's no hiding that. I was in prison in 2012 and I spent 7 years there. Okay, and I was not a good guy. I was not a nice guy. I'm still learning to be a nice guy now, but I'm much better than I was. Drug addict, dropout, running around with the wrong crowd. I did all that. This is what I called home for 7 years. Again, working for 19 cents an hour. 19 cents. Okay, working my fingers to the bone. 19 cents an hour. We got paid monthly. If I got a monthly check where I made like 25 bucks, I was like doing a backflip. $25 in a month was phenomenal to me. I was like, yes, I can buy a bag of chips. This is great. So I tell you that again, because I've been at the bottom of the barrel. Okay, I've been at the bottom. I don't care how bad your life was. This isn't a race to the bottom. Like I'm trying to tell you mine was worse, but maybe you can relate. Maybe you've never been to prison, but maybe you have some darkness in your past. You don't come from the best family. People have pointed their fingers in your face your entire life. You've been bullied. You've been treated bad. You whatever. I get it. I get it, but that's no excuse to look at yourself and say, I'm not a 7 or 8 figure earner. You can if you choose to be. It's simple. You're going to choose to be right now. I'm going to explain to you when we get deeper into this, how you go about doing that. So what happened while I was in there? What happened to turn this bad guy, this criminal, this guy who I had no ambitions. I didn't want to start a business. When you said business to me, that meant privilege. You went to college. You're some smart kid, or you grew up with a rich family or something. There's no way that I would ever have my own business. It's just not me. It's not my destiny. It's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. I am not capable of running a business. So you want to talk about false beliefs? Well, here's one hell of a mindset shift. Another inmate handed me a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You may have heard of it. I hope you have, because it's great. By Robert Kiyosaki. And it's a huge, huge mindset shift. I read this book cover to cover in one sitting. Mind you, I didn't read books. Like, no way. I didn't even read Harry Potter. There's no way I'm reading a book. I'm a criminal. We don't read, we don't study, we don't educate ourselves. But I had nothing else to do. I mean, I'm sitting in a cell for 7 years. Somebody gives me a book, I might as well read it, right? So I start reading this book. And oh my God, it was every word on the pages just jumped out at me. I was like, oh my God, I've been living my life the totally opposite wrong way. I need to become an entrepreneur. I need to. It's the only way. I started realizing that the only reason I didn't believe that I could be an entrepreneur or be rich or any of that stuff was because of my upbringing, because of my beliefs, because of who I thought I was and what I thought I deserved. Sorry. Right? Huge mindset shift. From that point on, I started learning more and more and more and more. I started getting every business book I possibly could. My little tiny paychecks that I was getting from my 19 cents per hour job, I was contacting outside book purchasing companies. I was getting the catalogs. I was getting their little menus of books and ordering everything I could about business. I want to learn everything I can about business. Now I'm passionate. Now I'm excited. Now I have a whole new lease on life. And I have here, all you need is one person to believe in you. And I started to run a business class for other inmates. That one person, I won't release her name because she probably doesn't want her stuff out there, but we're going to call her Miss A. And she was a counselor at this prison that I was at. And unlike most counselors or most other staff members, she was actually passionate about helping the inmates. She was a legit good person. We didn't get that very often. Most of them are very, very mean. Let's just put it that way. But she actually saw something in me, saw that I was studying and working hard on this business stuff, and encouraged me and said, why don't you start a class for the other inmates? And she put in the paperwork. She started speaking to the superintendent and the higher staff members and said, you should let this inmate run a class and help the other inmates. And to this day, I thank her so much, because that gave me purpose in life. And it gave not just me, but so many other inmates who I taught business, who I showed them how to start their business, who I showed them the right paperwork, how to file, how to look at the numbers, how to market, everything. And to this day, a lot of those inmates and I, we still stay in touch. We still talk. They're doing well. They have food trucks. They have barbershops. They have construction companies. They've moved on and done very well for themselves, all because one person believed in me and helped me impact change in others. So that was huge. I just wanted to give her a shout out there. Fantastic. Then I got home in 2019 and I was happy as hell. I started spending time with my kids, 7 years apart. There's my son. He was born after I went to prison. So I was just now meeting him. I was just now getting to know him. I saw him on visits, but visits are not the same as actually spending time with your kids, right? Actually going out, actually speaking, talking, playing with them. My daughter never looks into the camera. I'm surprised she did on the left picture. But we had a great time. We still have great times. And I love my kids. I'm sure you do too. In the midst of all this, I started a business. I started doing affiliate marketing. And while I was doing affiliate marketing, I was, Park says, are you married to her? No. So while I was doing affiliate marketing, I started doing pretty well. I started doing pretty good at it. And what happened was people came around and said, hey, can you coach me? It happened naturally. I didn't go out and find clients. I didn't try my best to get people to coach. People just asked me. They were like, can you coach me? Can you show me some of your methods? Can you show me what you're doing? So my affiliate marketing business slowly transformed into an affiliate marketing coaching business. Okay, so now I was recruiting clients to coach them and show them how to do affiliate marketing. And you see, that started in around October of 2019. And I was making $1,000 a month, maybe $2,000 a month. And it's just started growing and growing and growing until I was making consistent $12, $15, even $20,000 a month. Okay, so I had a 6-figure business as far back as last month. But maybe some of you who've been doing coaching and consulting know where this is going. As I'm bringing in these clients, and I never asked for this, I was just teaching people what I knew. But like I said, I had around 35 clients at one time. And so my business started to take my time from my family. Okay. So the pictures you saw of my kids and spending time with loved ones and having fun and all that. Now I'm never sleeping. I'm answering calls all day long. I'm constantly working on material for the clients and helping them. And when my kids want to hang out or when other family members want to hang out, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. Maybe you can relate. Give me a yes in the comment section if you relate. I want to see if anybody relates with that. Well, I'll take a swig of my nighttime coffee. So if you've ever seen the movie Click, that's similar to what was happening with me. In the movie, Adam Sandler started worrying about his business or rather, I think he was like a vice president or something like that in his business. He was somebody high up looking for a promotion. And he was worried so much about getting his promotion and getting up higher in his business that he started using this remote control to skip time with his family, or so that he could get the promotion. All he cared about was the promotion, more income, right? He started to skip over a lot of the important moments in him and his family's life. And that's how my life started to feel. I started to feel like I could no longer pay attention to what was going on in my family life. My kids needed my attention. I didn't know what was going on in their schoolwork or anything, because I'm putting so much time and effort into my business and I'm losing time with my family. So as the old saying, my man Biggie used to say, more money, more problems, right? There's only so much you can scale a business that way until you start losing your mind, until you're just like, you just become the business. You become the business. You become the bottleneck. You are now the business, and you can no longer live a normal life. Park said, looks kind of like you. So here's the revelation, right? I think we get it now. The one-on-one coaching / consulting model can only work up to a certain point. Can you scale to 6 figures doing one-on-one coaching and consulting? Of course you can. I did it. You've seen the results right there. You've seen the horribly drawn out graph and everything. There may be some 6-figure coaches or consultants watching this. You know it's possible. You can get that many clients and you can work with them one-on-one up until 6 figures. After that, you're going to want to jump off a bridge because that's way too many people. So what's the solution? Why are we here? How do we fix that? Let's go over some of that. So here's the rub. What your coaching and consulting business looks like, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, this is how your business looks like. It's not something that's in your control. It's not something you can choose. This is how every coaching or consulting business looks like from a 5,000-foot view. If you look down on it like a bird, this is what it looks like. You have your attraction method, right? All the way here on the left. It's your way of getting clients. Somehow, some way you get people's attention. I don't care if you're on Facebook and you're posting, you're doing videos like this, you're on Pinterest and you're putting up pictures, you're on YouTube and you're uploading videos. You're doing something to get people's attention, right? You have an attraction method. Over here, next, you have the conversion method. Somehow, some way, you are getting people to buy your product or service. Somehow. You're getting them on the phone. You're sending them to a webinar and then a checkout page, right? You're stealing their credit card. I don't know what you're doing, but you're figuring out some way to get the money out of their pocket into your pocket. There's a conversion method. There's something there in your business where you're ending up paid, okay? Then there's the fulfillment method. There's something that you're doing where you're now providing said service, right? Maybe it's a course. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's you coaching or consulting one-on-one. Maybe it's a direct line to you, maybe whatever. Somehow, some way, you're fulfilling the promises, right, that you said on the attraction part. You said, hey, sign up with me, buy from me. I'm going to do this for you, X, Y, Z. So you're fulfilling. And then there's an economic method. There's some kind of economics behind your business. There's some kind of balance sheet that says how much you're spending and how much you're making. And you're constantly keeping that under control, hopefully, right? Hopefully that's what you're doing. Hopefully you're not out of control and you're just spending like crazy. But those are the 4 parts of your business, whether you like it or not. So if you look at it that way, it becomes pretty obvious what needs to be done, right? What needs to be done in order for you to get to 7 and 8 figures as a coach or consultant is to switch it into this. Did you notice the difference there? Here's what a coaching or consulting business looks like with the Polybius system. And we're going to talk more about what the Polybius system is. But instead of attraction method, conversion method, fulfillment method, economic method, we're turning all these pieces into machines. You see the difference there? You need an attraction machine. You need a conversion machine. You need a fulfillment machine and an economic machine. Okay, I hate to say machine that many times, but I want to hammer it in your head. The reason that Henry Ford was able to destroy all his competitors when all these other car companies existed was because he had an assembly line. Because it was a machine. He could pump out cars faster than any other company and at a low cost. The reason that McDonald's was able to destroy all the other mom and pop burger joints out there was because they had a machine. They had a system that was repeatable, that they could copy and paste, that even teenagers could run. It's not because they had the best burgers or fries in the world. They have a machine. Okay? Park says, I'm the Terminator. Nice. Is all this making sense so far? So we're going to get into diving a little bit deeper into how we craft these 4 machines right here. All of these need to be tuned up. Okay, and we're going to talk about what the Polybius system is. That's the infamous mob's signature system. Okay. By the way, the infamous mob is it's my coaching group. We're all in here. So the revelation should be, don't be self-employed. Be a facilitator. Be a facilitator. Don't be self-employed. Don't be running around. I'm doing all the attraction. I'm doing all the conversion. I'm doing all the coaching, all the fulfillment, I'm doing everything. That's self-employed. If you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you remember about the cash flow quadrant. And they said, you can't stay self-employed. You have to switch over to an actual business. He said the definition of a business is it runs without you. If you need to run your business, you don't have a business. You're self-employed. Don't work in your business, work on your business. That's the switch. That's what we're going to do. We're no longer going to have you working in your business. You're going to be working on your business. It's a whole different ballgame. Okay. You need to take a step back from your business, look at it in pieces and say, I need to put these machines in place. That's what I need to do. That's the next step. So if you look at this picture, right, this picture says 1,000 words, like the old saying. This picture is Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak working on Apple computers back in, I think, in the 70s. Pretty damn old picture, right? But I wanted to pose a question to you. Who's richer? I mean, obviously, Steve Jobs is no longer with us, but you get the point of what I'm saying. Who ended up richer? Who was the one working in the business and who was the one working on the business? Most people don't even know who Steve Wozniak is. They think Steve Jobs did everything. They think Apple, they think Steve Jobs. But really, Steve Wozniak was the brains behind everything. He's the one that built the computers. He's the one that did all the fulfillment and probably picked up a bunch of phone calls and all kinds of like running around in circles. Here, Steve Jobs was the face. He was the brand and he was the guy working on the business. How do you set up the systems? He wasn't concerned with how a computer works, how it's built, what's the programming. He didn't care about any of that. He just saw the vision and he facilitated. See the difference there? He facilitated who was in charge of what. That's what you need to do in your business. Put people in charge. So let's start first with the attraction machine. The attraction machine looks like this. You get qualified leads and you take them to a conversation. By the way, this is how Polybius does things. We don't do webinars. We want to take people to a conversation. Webinars are dead. A lot of you said yes already. They put you to sleep. You can't stand them, right? We want to take people to a conversation. We want to treat people like they mean something, not just send them to some automated, not so live webinar. We want to get in a conversation with qualified leads right away. That's a great attraction machine. We can do this repeatable over and over and over again, all day, every day. So how do we get these qualified leads? There's 2 main ways that the mob and I go about helping you do that. We either run Facebook ads to a bot or a group, depending on your business model, depending on which you prefer. Okay, but that's where the conversation takes place. You see the difference there? We're not taking people to a webinar, some faceless webinar with some long drawn out thing. We want to send them to a group where they can engage with you, your staff, your message, whatever. They want to be part of a community, or we can send them to a bot where they can chat with the bot. You can send them follow-up sequences, send them free videos and PDFs, and even have conversations with them through the bot. Okay, we're sending them to a conversation. And from there, we send them to the conversion machine, and we'll get to that next. Okay, or depending on your flavor, or you get appointment setters. Okay, appointment setters. They set the appointments, they get the leads for you, and they send them into your conversion machine. Okay, so you're not doing any of the going around finding leads and getting a headache stuff. It's all a machine. It's on autopilot. And you might be saying right now, especially when I said appointment setters, you might be saying, I can't afford appointment setters or closers if we're talking about the conversion machine. And I say, well, you can if they work on commission. You don't pay them unless they do the thing. If an appointment setter sends a qualified lead, how much is that lead worth to you? $10, $15? Right? If you go into one of these biz op opportunity type of groups where people are spamming a bunch of stuff, I want you to run this experiment. I want you to try this. Go in there and say, hey, is anybody interested in making $15 to $30 an hour, setting appointments and sending qualified leads into an application? Comment yes in the comment section below. This is not an MLM. This is not affiliate marketing or anything like that. I guarantee you're going to get about 50 yeses. Okay, everybody would love to do that. And yes, in the Polybius system, we have a way to train these people and show them how to get you leads qualified every single day. You don't pay unless they send you qualified leads. You're going to pay for leads anyway when you're doing ads, right? Easier to just pay a person. And if you're only paying them on a commission, you can afford it. You don't pay the closers just to get on the phone. You pay them to make sales. Once they sell, then you pay them. Once they send a lead, then you pay them. Make sense? Okay. So appointment setters are only getting paid for qualified leads like we talked about. Closers are only getting paid for a sale. So if your leads cost about $15 from running ads, which is about average, it's the same as having an appointment setter get the leads for you. Same thing. Actually, it's cheaper because you're only paying for the leads and not all these other people who may be clicking on your ads. Sorry. Same thing with the closer. A good closer who we train, and we're going to get into that. We train the closers. They should be earning about 10 to 20% per close, and we get our closers up to 40% conversion rates. Minimum. They may be more than that. I know me personally, I'm at 70%. Okay, so now on to the conversion machine, our favorite. We're going to make some sales. We're going to get some money here. So how does the conversion machine look like? Once we get the qualified lead, where do we send them? We send them to a survey. And yes, a survey, a form, an application, whatever you want to call it, is part of the conversion machine. Because if people are getting to this survey and they're backing out or they're answering the questions in a very bad way, they're saying on the application and the survey they don't have money or they're not interested or whatever, good. We have successfully weeded out the people who were never going to buy in the first place, thereby saving you money, right? The lead does not count. You don't have to pay the appointment setter or anything like that. They only count if they answer the questions and they successfully show that they're a qualified, serious lead. The survey, which I see a lot of coaches and consultants not use, it's insane. You need to have a survey. It saves you so much time in the end. And what was the whole point of all this? Time. We want you to spend time with your kids, with your family. You don't want to be sifting through all these leads and saying, which one is qualified? I don't know. Let the survey do it for you. That's part of the machine. Let the survey do it for you. The survey then sends over to a certified closer. Again, these closers are closing at least 40%. They're certified by us, the infamous mob, and we take them through a program called Inbound Closer University. We will show them how to close, and they will close effectively. Mind you, again, You do not pay them until they make a sale. So there's no risk on your part whatsoever. And all the risk is on their part. If they don't make a sale, they don't get a check. They want to make that sale, trust me. So what about the fulfillment? There's no way, right? Now the almighty fulfillment machine, there's no way. Surely you have to be there to deliver the goods, right? You have to be there. You're a coach, you're a consultant. People expect you to be there. There's no way you can fulfill the offer and not be there. Wrong again. What does your customer actually care about? What do you think they care about? Do they care if you're there or not? Absolutely not. Every single program that's a 7- and 8-figure program out there, the actual coach, the actual consultant is nowhere to be found. Not even there. And the customer does not care. They don't give a crap. They don't care. That doesn't even pop into their head. All they care about is the result. All they care about is the program going to help me get the result, period, point blank. I don't care about anything else. That's it. So if you look here all the way on the far right, there's you. You see the big box that says you there. Hopefully you can read that. Okay, notice that you're not directly communicating with that customer. Instead, you see how the arrow is pointing down to that box saying instructions. You give instructions. Okay, you just talk about how you want this program to run. And from the instructions, you send those instructions over to white label done for you services, which we can show you some of those resources. Maybe you want to help them run their Facebook ads. Maybe you want to help them do their graphic design. Maybe you want to help them do branding. Maybe you want to help them do whatever, right? You don't actually have to do it yourself. Just give instructions to a white label done for you service. Okay, have them carry out the actual action of doing the thing. You don't have to be there. Okay, we show you how to set all that up. Obviously, there's the course or courses. People can learn at their own pace. They can do that. Again, they don't care. They only care about the result. And the other thing is group coaching. It's much easier and much more scalable. Even if you do want to keep working in your business, it's much more scalable if you're doing coaching one-to-many instead of doing one-on-one. If you do a live group coaching session every single week, maybe 2 a week or whatever you want to do, and you can speak to many, many people, you can coach 500 people at the same time. There's no limit to that. You can go live inside your Facebook group and say, you know, here's some coaching. Anybody have any Q&A, some questions, whatever, answer everybody. And you can even get other coaches in there. You can get interns, you can get some friends, some family, whatever. We can show you how to set that up too. Okay, we can show you how to set that up too, get some coaches in there and break it off. If you have like 400 people in your coaching program, right? You might want to break it off into smaller groups and have different coaches for each of those groups. But you see here, ultimately all you're doing, you want to get out of that. You want to get out of the fulfillment side and you're all the way over there by yourself. All you do is give instructions. Here's what I want done. Everything else is working on autopilot. The actual fulfillment side is on autopilot. Make sense? And finally, the economic machine. We're going to make it rain, right? Now that we have all this set up, now that we have all the machines in place, the trick is to spend $1 and we can predictably return $10. Effectively, we 10x our business. Every time that we spend $1, we know we're getting 10 back. That's the idea behind all this. That is what makes a coaching or consulting business scalable. That's what makes it so different than a 6-figure business. It's vastly different. Would you agree? I think you would, because I definitely agree. I was the same way. I was coaching one-on-one, and I realized there is no way to scale that model. You have to switch it to a machine. So let's recap. See what we've learned so far. Number one, you need to create a predictable flow of qualified leads. There's different ways we can do that. But essentially, we got to turn your acquisition into a machine, right? We have to turn it into a machine. There's different ways we can do that. Number two, you need to have an army of certified closers that can sell for you on autopilot. Do you really want to handle 80 phone calls a month? No, right? Absolutely not. You would much rather just have qualified and certified closers who will sell for you, and you don't have to pay them until they sell. You don't have to pay them unless they sell. Excuse me. Number three, you need to have a system for delivering the results you promise without you having to be there. Okay? That fulfillment system, you don't have to be there. Group coaching, courses, done for you services that are white labeled. Have outsourced companies do a lot of the other work for you. Have interns. Have employees. All these systems in place for the fulfillment side of things. We can show you how to put that together. And number four, you need to tweak this machine until you're consistently 10xing your investment. So we need to look at the economics of it, and we need to say, are we putting $1 in and getting $10 back? And then we can just, from there, the sky's the limit, right? Actually, there is no limit. We can just put as much money in as possible because the machine is predictable and never ending. Okay? So this, what I just explained to you, this process of turning this business model, this six-figure business model where it's all just you running around chasing clients, right? Losing time with family, having a headache, coaching all these people, consulting, and it's crazy, right? This is what the infamous mob, me and my team of coaches, this is what we call Polybius. Notice what Polybius is. It's a machine. That's what we're doing. We're franchising our system, showing you exactly how we put it all together and giving it to you. Copy and paste. McDonald's. Exactly what we're doing. We're showing you how to do it. So one of the takeaways, some of the takeaways I should say here, this is the only way to scale a coaching or consulting business to 7 and 8 figures. I challenge anybody to find another way, because if you find another way, please tell me. Seriously, I don't see any other way. You have to turn it into a machine. You have to step out of it. You cannot keep on doing all the work yourself. It's not possible. The infamous mob has such a system right now. We can franchise it to you. We have 5 coaches inside the program. We show you how to set everything up. We give you all the resources. We go into a full partnership with you, meaning a lot of these other programs are just showing you how to do stuff. And then once you graduate, it's all over, right? They don't care what happens to you. The beauty of our system is that it's a partnership. We need you. We have the closers. We have all the appointment setters, all the ad people, all this stuff. We need you. We need you to succeed. We need to make sure you succeed because we're going into a partnership. And most of the programs out there that do this for you cost $35,000 minimum. Minimum. I've never seen a program cost less than that does the same thing that we do. Not possible. Not possible. So if you're interested, if you want to talk about the direction of your business, just send me a message. That's all you got to do. Just send me a message. We're going to see if everything is a good fit, and we'll see if we can move forward. And other than that, is there any questions? I love this guy. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to take a swig of my coffee. And yes, I know it's like 9 o'clock and I'm still drinking coffee, but that's part of coaching people one-on-one, right? Still having the after effects of coaching one-on-one. And is there any questions on that whatsoever? Did any of that stick? Did it make sense? Did something not make sense? I can clarify it here and now, or forever hold your peace. Let me scroll back up here and see if anybody asked anything. Teresa said, did they make you wear a hospital gown? Yeah, they did, actually. I came from the hospital when I got locked up because I was in that scuffle. So I had a few injuries on me as well. Let's see here. Teresa says, totally makes sense. Okay. I hope I explained that really, really well there. That's the difference. That's the difference between a 6-figure coaching or consulting business versus a 7-figure, 8-figure coaching and consulting business. You cannot keep doing one-on-one and expect to go any further. You can try. I'd love to see you try. Let me know when you have like 40 clients and see if you don't want to put a bullet in your head. Teresa says, so is this working for a particular item? No, not really. It's more service based. So if your business is more like getting clients and working with clients, this is more so for you. If it's product based, your product should already be doing all the fulfilling, although we can help you do some of the client acquisition stuff like that, but this is more for like client-based businesses. So if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and shut this down for the week. And usually if you're new here and you've never seen any of these, I usually do these on Wednesday nights like this. And if there's anything in particular you want me to present or show or whatever, let me know in a chat. Just send a message to me and I'll do it here. I think I got this question at some point last week talking about scaling. And so I wanted to put this together to show the difference between a 6 and a 7 and 8-figure business. You can't really scale with that model. You have to have a whole different model to scale with. All right, it doesn't look like there's any more questions, so I will go ahead and shut this down for the week. Thank you guys for coming out. I hope you got a lot out of that. And I am the infamous Joel, and I'm out.